This is Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse, episode number 21. In today's episode, we will be talking about new parties, shows, and character experiences and more, debuting January 18th at Walt Disney World, all 4 parks, and also new information on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Everything Disney in and out of the house. Two grown-ups and a mouse.
Hi there, I'm AJ.
I'm Andrew.
And you are listening to Two Grown-Ups and a Mouse.
The podcast.
It is a podcast.
The live show.
Guess what?
The recorded show.
Guess what?
What?
Baby, it's cold outside.
It is.
Not really.
For us, it is.
Yeah. It's 52. I look.
Yeah.
52 degrees, but it is a little on the chilly side for us. I know our friends over across the pond are like, what the heck are you talking about? 52 is warm.
Especially our listeners in Sweden and Canada. We even have a listener in Alaska.
Woohoo! Yeah, I guess it's not that cold compared to Alaska. Sorry.
Yeah, so you guys can go ahead and just
Make fun.
make fun of us for being wimps. So
We're sitting here recording all bundled up because, it's cold.
it's cold.
Well, it's not really cold. It's just not hot.
Therefore, it's cold.
Not hot.
It's cold.
Anyway, we could go on and on fighting about how cold or hot it is, but we're not going to. Instead, we're going to start talking about the new parties, shows, and character experiences and more, debuting January 18th, 2019 in all 4 Walt Disney World parks.
That's right.
There's a lot.
There is. It's a surprising amount.
Right. And, we were preparing for the show and we're looking it up at January 18th to see if it was an anniversary or a character birthday or something.
Right.
To see if there was a reason that they might have picked January 18th to say, hey, all this new stuff is coming. But we didn't, I'm not saying there isn't something memorable that we might have overlooked. We didn't see anything
Right.
other than it is a holiday weekend. It is Martin Luther King Day that Monday.
Right.
The 18th is the Friday. So it is the big, they're starting these events on a holiday weekend.
Right.
So, and
Well, it's also the first weekend of the art festival.
right at Epcot.
At Epcot. So at the International Festival of the Arts.
Right. It kind of gives them some downtime between the Festival of the Holidays, I believe is what they now call it.
Right.
And then the Festival of the Arts, then the Flower and Garden Festival, and then the Food and Wine Festival. We
Right.
kind of talked about that before, how, before it used to just be 2 festivals at
Right.
Epcot. It used to be Food and Wine and Flower and Garden. Food and Wine, Flower and Garden. And then they expanded. Actually, the Festival of the Holidays came first, but it had a different name.
Well,
That's
it's
been
grown.
around.
It's grown over the years. So
No, but it had a different name previously,
Right.
so it grew a little bit, and hopefully I'm calling it the right name now.
Yeah.
But either way, the art festival, it is going to be the 3rd year at Epcot.
right.
However, they have had a Festival of the Masters, correct? That was the old name for it when it was at Disney Springs.
Yeah.
And actually, it never was at Disney Springs.
No.
Because it was at Downtown Disney. It was before Downtown Disney became Disney Springs.
Right.
They used to have the art festival over there.
Right.
But either way, we talked about how it's like they find different festivals to have not all year long, because over the summer they don't need to have festivals to draw people to Epcot.
Right.
But during the year, it seems like they go, you know what? We already put up this little stand for selling merchandise or the stand for selling food.
Well, a lot of the stands get taken down in between too. It's just a way of getting more people into the park. So, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff coming to Epcot too, which we'll talk about in a future episode. As they announced a lot of new stuff at Destination D. So
We didn't go to Destination D. However, they did
right.
make announcements and they're public and they do post the information.
Right.
I should rephrase that. We didn't go to Destination D this year.
Right. We have gone in the past.
Yeah, we have gone. It's Destination D is a D23 event. D23, if you do not already know, is the official fan club for Disney fans.
Right.
You can now become a member for free. You can go to shopdisney.com and you can register there. Or I think there's a D23, a direct site as well that you can
D23.com.
Right. I believe you can sign up there as well.
Right.
But if you want to get the magazines, if you want to get a gold or silver membership, I believe they might redirect you to the Shop Disney.
Well, you have to buy through Shop Disney.
Right, if you're going to purchase one.
Right. And then the benefit of the paid is you get access to go to the event, you get the magazine, you get little trinkets during the year. But we can talk about the D23 in a future episode
as well.
Yeah.
We'll leave something to talk about. So let's talk a little bit more about what the celebrations are. Let's start with Magic Kingdom.
Sure.
So they are going to honor Mickey and Minnie.
Right.
Which seems logical. I mean,
yeah,
it's it's a great place to have Mickey and Minnie. And one of the things they're doing is now there's going to be, instead of having a Mickey meet and greet and a Minnie meet and greet, there's going to be a Mickey and Minnie meet and greet where they are together inside of Town Square Theater. And because it's a new celebration, they're going to have new outfits.
Right.
And there's going to be a celebration station as well, also inside of the Town Square Theater. So you can get signatures, you can get pictures with them, a little bit of a party. And they have new music that they've done. They've added to their street party. And so they also announced something that based on that new Disney Dooney dog purse, the release, and all the people getting really excited about the dogs. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of people will probably be excited that Pluto is going to have a new meet and greet at Pete's Silly Sideshow in Storybook Circus. And that was really hard to say. Pete's Silly Sideshow in Storybook Circus.
Say it 3 times fast.
No, because I can't. But yeah, there's a couple of meet and greets that are like permanent locations for meet and greet inside of Magic Kingdom.
And this sounds like it'll be one of them.
Right.
In addition to...
And they do move them around every once in a while.
Sure.
Because before the show, we were looking at some things, and we thought that they did have a meet and greet in Storybook Circus previously, but it seems like currently there's the one up front where you can meet Mickey.
Right, which is the Town Square Theater.
Right. There's Ariel's Grotto, where you can meet Ariel.
Correct.
And there is the Princess Hall? I
think that's what it's called, Princess Hall. And then there's the 4 princesses are in there.
Right. 2 of them are Fast Pass and the other 2... No, not 2 of them are... I think are Fast Passes available for all of them? I don't want to misspeak.
I don't remember.
Right. Sorry to everybody who loves the princesses. We've been in that one a few times. I think I've been in a few more than you have. But either way, so it looks like they're going to have another permanent or semi-permanent meet and greet area, which is really nice because, and we talked about this in a previous episode, it's really nice when they have the areas, the meet and greets inside, because it's better for the characters to not be out in the heat or, like right now, be out in the cold. Someone who works at Walt Disney World posted on Instagram today, it was 39 degrees this morning. So, it's really nice to have more regulated temperatures, especially when you're wearing a lot of costuming or clothing or whatever.
Well,
it may require.
The other benefit is that they can run multiple characters at the same time. So, when you go into the Town Square Theater, there's more than one Mickey. There's more than one Minnie.
Don't ruin it.
Well, we are a podcast for adults, and they should be able to handle it.
Actually, we experienced that at Epcot once when we were doing the Disney. It wasn't Disney Visa. We had Fast Passes for the Mickey and Pals meet and greet right across from Mouse Gears. And that was actually a beautiful moment. There was a blind child, a little boy who was blind, and watching the interaction of the characters with him was really, really beautiful. I mean, it was just because he couldn't see, but he was touching their faces.
Right.
And Mickey had to leave, and we to this day don't know if it was because Mickey got verklempt or because maybe another Mickey came in. Could
Right.
one or the other. But that's one of the things that make Disney so magical. I mean, that was a beautiful, beautiful moment to witness. I mean,
Sure.
the joy, you could hear it in his voice and you could see it on his face, even though he couldn't see.
Right.
He just loved, he was hugging on them and touching them, I don't want to say touching them because that sounds inappropriate, but he was touching their faces, because that's how he sees them.
Right.
That was really, really beautiful. But yes, that was an indoor meet and greet. And so they were able to walk in and out, which is really, really nice. But let's move on to some of the other parks. There's Hollywood Studios, which 2019 is going to be the 30th anniversary.
Yeah. May 1st.
Yeah, that's amazing. Of course, it wasn't always called Hollywood Studios.
MGM.
Yeah.
That's still MGM to me.
And this is really interesting because on January 18th, they're going to reveal a new 30th anniversary logo.
Yep.
Now, why I find that interesting is there have been rumors, though I haven't heard these rumors recently, about them possibly changing the name again.
Yeah, that was... I think they decided they were, but again, that's just a rumor. Cause,
Right. They never officially announced a name change.
Right.
But there have been rumors, I think at one of the events, one of the heads kind of slipped a little bit and almost indicated that then the name was going to change, which
Right.
led to speculation.
I think it was last year's D23 Expo where they were kind of... I think they let the rumors go a little too close to the...
Right. So, and we're not trying to spread rumors. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it'll be interesting to see, because if they were to decide that they want to reimagine Hollywood Studios again, they want to rename it to match more closely what it is,
Right.
then this 30th anniversary would be the prime opportunity to do
Sure.
something like that. So I think, and again, speculation, not saying one way or the other because we don't know.
Right.
But I think if they are in fact going to change the name of Hollywood Studios, that would probably be when it happened. And if they're not going to do it, they're going to kind of set it in like, hey, we're
Right.
celebrating our 30th and this is Hollywood Studios. So that's going to be really, really interesting.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
So what else do they have?
Pixar Avenue will be the place for guests to show off their inner supers with the Incredibles. So you'll be able to celebrate the heroic deeds of the Mr. Incredible, Mrs. Incredible, and Frozone. Looks like just kind of a, I don't know, street party kind of thing.
Well, they do that at Magic Kingdom now, don't they?
Right.
Or they were for a while. if
Well,
they're-
there was that dance party that was over in Future World. So maybe this will be somewhat similar to that.
right. Or maybe they're going to move it
Possible.
to there,
Or have it in both.
Right, that's possible as well. I mean,
Right.
with having Toy Story Land, which is basically, even though it's called Toy Story Land, it's kind of like Pixar Place.
Well, it kind of took over the part because Pixar Place was there, and now it's closed down because you walk through Pixar Place in order to get to Toy Story Midway Mania.
Right, that's what the signage above the walkway.
Right.
If you were coming from One Man Stream, walking in that direction.
Right. And then you could keep walking around to the back side of the park. Now that's all closed because of the Star Wars stuff, but
yeah, it seems like they're adding a lot of Pixar stuff actually.
I think Toy Story Land was pretty cool, but it's very barren.
It is small.
Right.
And we discussed that there are no stores inside of there.
Well, that's a weird one too.
There are definitely places to shop inside of there. That's not an issue. And throughout the park, plenty of places to buy Toy Story merchandise. But there are no brick and mortar stores. Typically you come out of a ride and you walk into a store.
Sure.
And there are none in Toy Story Land. So that's kind of interesting. But another thing that is going to open on January 19th is the Monster World will open inside of Walt Disney Presents, and you can visit Mike and Sully
Right.
in there. So that's why I was saying there seems to be a lot more Pixar stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Just because they need to do something to kind of punch it up a little bit. and so much more than just Toy Story. So,
Right. And
of course, with Toy Story 4 coming out, it's kind of appropriate, I guess.
Right. And they do have the Disney Junior Dance Party. It seems like they might be reimagining that slightly. We've been in there once or twice. I know that we went with our friends from Minnesota who have a young girl.
Right.
So we went to the party with them, I believe. And years ago, we went with other friends who have a young boy and young girl. And we went with them. But since we don't have children, that's not something that we can really speak on much because we don't go in there often.
No, it starts to look a little creepy when you're in with the little kids.
Yeah. So, we haven't been inside of there in a long time. So we wouldn't know if it was new or not because it would be new to us.
Right.
But we did start to talk about the Epcot International Festival of the Arts,
right.
which is probably one of our favorites because we do like art. If you follow us on social media, one of the pictures that we posted recently of our dining area where we're currently recording because we need to fix up our studio, you could see behind me some of our artwork.
Right.
And all the pictures hanging in our house are Disney. If they're not Disney, they're from our wedding.
Yeah,
but,
pretty much.
Oh, not pretty much. That's it. We don't have any pictures hanging that aren't Disney or the wedding.
Well, yeah, that's true.
They're all Disney. Different kinds of Disney. We collect Disney stamps, official USPS Disney stamps.
Right.
We have hand-painted Disney cells. We have original Disney artwork. We have pin art. We have a couple of giclées. And we have some lithographs. I mean, we have
a lot.
we do, but we enjoy collecting art.
Sure.
It's nice collecting Disney art. So that's why the Festival of the Arts is one of our favorites. And we were really happy, because we were sad when the Festival of the Masters kind of disappeared from
right.
downtown Disney as it was transitioning into Disney Springs. And then we found out about the Festival of the Arts and we were like, awesome, we can go see the art. One of my favorite parts about the Festival of the Masters, and they did continue this into the Festival of the Arts, is the chalk art.
Right. That's
really cool.
We'll talk a little more about it in a future episode about all the things you can expect at the Festival of the Arts because it's new and still evolving. I mean, this is the third year, but like the first year it was only on the weekends, and it was much smaller, and then it's grown steadily. So this year will be even bigger. Like this year now they're adding a Broadway concert series. So, in the spring you have or in the Food and Wine, you have a concert series. I think they do a concert series for food or for Flower and Garden.
They typically have a concert series
right.
with each of their things. I mean, because even though it's not really a concert series, but they have Candlelight processional for
the holidays.
Once Food and Wine ends, and then you go into the holiday season. So even though it's not, they do have the Festival of the Holidays, but they have the Candlelight processional happening in the area where they usually have the concerts.
And what they're doing this year, I think it's on December 4th. They are doing Candlelight live on YouTube.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That they're doing that for people that don't get a chance to go see it. I mean, we did talk about that before. Everyone, if they get a chance, it's nice to see it at least once. For me, it's not really my cup of tea, but I'm still glad that I've seen it, and I've actually seen it more than once, but we've seen it a few times. But we were talking about that, how Disney does like to put some things live, to make it more available to people. Yeah, there's really nothing like seeing something in person where you could just see it up close and personal because, I mean, it's great live on YouTube. It's definitely a good alternative.
So, yeah, with Candlelight on YouTube, I mean, if you've never seen it, there's not really any way for you to get to Epcot during the holiday season, then this is your alternative. So, and it's a lot better because Disney, it's a lot better than having to watch somebody else's recording of it because usually they're not very good.
Some of them surprisingly are, but yeah, it is nice to see a professional recording.
Right.
Because they're going to have prime camera angles.
Right.
And prime sound.
Right. Yeah, they're going to hook right into their sound. So it's definitely a good alternative. Or if you really like it and you just want to see it, then it'll be there. Exactly.
And then at Animal Kingdom, we're not going to leave out Animal Kingdom, they are going to have a Hakuna Matata time dance party. And it's going to feature Timon and Rafiki from Disney's The Lion King. And it's going to happen each day on Discovery Island. So that sounds like a lot of fun. So they basically have something at every park happening. You know, it's going to be release on January 18th.
Right.
But, you know, it's really interesting how instead of saying, oh, on January 1st, we're going to release this, and on January 8th, we're going to release this, and on, you know, they don't typically stagger them like that. They have a tendency to do things on the same day. Not all the time. Right. You know.
Well, the other thing, we couldn't find anything about the date, but this is part of their new promotion of now more than ever is what you'll see that tagline a lot in the coming months from Disney with the opening of Pandora, Avatar Land, and Animal Kingdom, the opening of Toy Story Land, opening now Star Wars Galaxy Edge later next year. All this stuff, Disney's basically saying now more than ever is a good time to visit. So
that's pretty much everything going on January 18th in the 4 parks.
Well, those are the 4. Those are the celebrations at the 4 parks that we know of at this moment. So
right, and other things I'm sure will be announced between now and then.
Oh, yeah. It'll be ongoing, I'm sure.
Right. But talking about announcements, it seems like there was some interesting and exciting news shared inside of D23's Destination D.
Right. So, well, the big thing is that I'm going to murder his name, but Bob Chapek?
Chapek? Yeah. I know how to pronounce it. Delicatessen.
Exactly. It is charcuterie. Well, anyway, Bob is chairman of Parks, Experiences, and Consumer Products with Disney. He's one of the super bigwigs, and he announced he showed off a couple videos at D20 or at Destination D, talking about Star Wars Galaxy Edge. So now we know the names of 2 of the new rides, and the first one is called Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, and then.
Well, it says it puts guests behind the controls of the most famous ship in the galaxy in one of 3 unique flight crew roles. So I wonder what that is going to be similar to.
Well, the teaser videos, they are online. You can find them on the Disney blogs. They're on YouTube. They stay true to the role of teaser because they didn't really show anything. But it did look similar to what you do in Mission Space, right? Where you have a pilot, the landing guy, you have 4 roles.
Right.
Right. So I'm guessing this ride isn't going to be like Mission Space in terms of it being like a centrifuge ride, but there's probably going to be a pilot, a co-pilot, and then like an engineer kind of guy. And basically you flip a bunch of switches and the ride will go on.
So the reason I brought that up when I said what might it resemble, Disney does have a tendency to expand upon existing rides and make, but it's kind of like that if it isn't broke, don't fix it mentality. People enjoy rides, so they kind of take that same concept and reimagine it. Plus, if you think about it, how many different ways can you do rides and attractions? So...
Well, the other thing is, as technology progresses, you can make changes to the rides. Obviously, Carousel of Progress, we look at it now and go, oh, it's cute, and because it's now really old, or Hall of Presidents or whatever else. But, we were talking about some of the stuff in Pandora, like the Navi River Journey. The animatronics are a whole lot better.
Right. But that ride to me is like a very common, soothing small world.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. They build off it, or the Flight of Passage ride, which honestly we have not been on yet because we still to this day have not been able to get fast passes. But that ride has been compared to Soarin'.
Sure.
And of course they're very different, but they're still a similar concept.
Right.
There's the aerial ride, you're driving through and seeing a story is the same thing as the Frozen ride, except for the Frozen ride is in a water vehicle. but you're riding through and seeing a story. So that's what I'm
Right.
saying. A lot of rides are very similar conceptually, how it functions. It just has
sure.
a different storyline, or of course, as you just said, different animatronics inside, or different. They do add different technology to them, but they still have a similar base.
Right. And we simply don't know yet because the teaser video just didn't show anything. Maybe it's a mix of Star Tours and Mission Space. The Mission Space part is, assigning people to be certain roles in the ride, and then it's just a, kind of a move along with the screen kind of thing, or who knows?
It'll be interesting to see, so that when
Right.
it does come out, we could be like, hey, you were right on. You knew exactly what it was going to be. Or, yeah, that was totally out of left field. We had no idea that's what that was going to be.
Right. Exactly.
Either way, I'm sure we're going to enjoy it. And the other attraction is called Star Wars Rise of the Resistance.
Yep.
And that puts guests in the middle of an epic battle between the Resistance and the First Order.
Right. And there's absolutely no details yet that I could find of what this actually is, other than the teaser video just showed kind of a video in the ride itself of, the First Order being attacked by the Resistance. But there was no other details, so I have no idea if it's a ride along, if it's a walkthrough, if it's who knows. So it looked interesting, but there's just not very many details yet.
There's some details about Star Wars Land or Star Wars Galaxy Edge. You can get blue milk
Right.
and go to the cantina. It's going to be pretty immersive,
Yep.
it seems like. And the best thing is the new resort.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting.
Yeah. We went on the backstage tour at Epcot and were told a little bit about the new resort and how immersive that experience is going to be.
Right.
That's almost like being on an attraction 24/7 based on the way the cast member described it to us.
Well, even here, it's the I think I even wrote it down. From the moment you board your launch pod, it's a fully immersive multi-day Star Wars adventure aboard a luxury starship complete with high-end dining, space view cabins, and an all-new exciting action you would expect from an authentic Star Wars experience. So, from the pictures we've seen and the little teaser videos and stuff, you're going to stay in a hotel room that has no windows.
Well, it has windows. You just can't see the outside world.
Right. The window is going to be a TV screen that shows a planet, because you're in your spaceship orbiting it. And some of the other details that have been released are things like you're going to be given a mission. So as you leave the hotel, you can go into Star Wars Galaxy Edge and complete tasks and then bring them back to the hotel. And it does sound interesting. I don't know if it would necessarily be for us, but it does sound...
Interesting is a good word.
For a total Star Wars nerd, it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, for diehard fans, I think they're going to love it. For some people, it'll be interesting to see because I've never done anything so submersive as that.
Right.
Role playing 24/7 like that. And I've been on stage before. I mean, I've done community theater and, in high school and everything, I performed. So
Right.
I certainly don't mind performing, but I don't know that I would want to stay in character in that aspect for 24/7. And not only that, you're not getting paid to do it. You're paying to do it.
Right.
That's the funny part.
Well, it is Disney, so I'm sure they're not going to be too strict on the... Plus, what are you going to do when you go to Magic Kingdom? That's going to be a very weird part of the immersive experience when you...
Dressed up like the Star Wars character inside of Magic Kingdom.
All right.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting, but I'm very excited for Star Wars Galaxy Edge to open, which opens in 2019.
Yep. Fall of 2019 is what they say. It'll be basically don't go to the parks that rest of the year probably because
Well, that would be our choice.
it's going to be very, very busy.
I mean, some people enjoy being there on the first day. They want to be able to say they were there the first day. And it is nice. We have been at some places on anniversaries and they are a little bit more busy. So we don't typically stay too long.
Well, we haven't done any of the stuff on the first day. We didn't do Avatar on first day.
No, not rides, but we were at Epcot on the 35th anniversary. We did go into the park, and that was a big anniversary. It wasn't the 34th. It was the 35th anniversary, and that they did have a big, relatively big celebration for that.
Right.
Lots of merchandise was released, so we were there for that. But no, we were not there for the opening of Toy Story Land. We were not there for the opening of Pandora. But it, ironically enough, because we were talking earlier about our artwork and the stamps. Mm-hmm. One year they released the stamps at Send a Smile or Send a Hello. I can't remember which one came first. They were Pixar stamps.
Right.
And they released them at Art of Animation.
Right.
And we drove up. We actually left super early in the morning to get to the release because the release, I believe, started at around 9 a.m.
Something crazy like that.
So we left at, between 5 and 6. I don't remember exactly what time we left to get there. And so we were there for that. Not only was the stamps, but that was like the opening day, basically, of the resort, I believe.
It wasn't opening day, but it was still in that, the resort was still new.
It was like soft opening or something, like around that period.
Something weird like that, because obviously this was part of that celebration. And then also, they were giving tours and stuff of the resort. So, because we kind of tapped onto the backside of one of those as the stamp celebration ended. So
right, we did get to explore the resort a little bit.
Right,
and that's a great resort. It's really colorful.
Sure,
we stayed there once, and that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Speaking of resorts and staying there, I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
So before we say goodnight, let me say, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Absolutely. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you don't know how to subscribe, you can follow us on your favorite podcast system, which you might be doing right now.
Probably.
Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, whichever system you use to listen to your podcasts. Or you can listen to us directly on our website.
Yep. TwoGrownUpsAndAMouse.com.
Or you can follow us on social media.
Two Grown Ups and a Mouse. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
And you can listen to us on YouTube.
You can.
So thank you for listening. And I'm saying good night.
And I'm saying good morning.
Okay, then I'm changing it to good afternoon.
Good evening.
No, just goodbye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.